Hi, I'm Donna Legault, and I'm a career coach who loves telling stories. I've been so lucky to meet many interesting people through my work and in my life, and I've been inspired and touched and amazed at times by people's career paths and choices, and I want to share what I've learned with others. I wanted to write a book, but instead I decided to do this. Here it is, Stuck in Traffic.
So I'm going to pick up Donna, who's a career coach in Montreal. She wants to interview me about being a journalist / personal trainer. Come on in.
Hey!
You waiting long?
How you doing, Richard?
Not too bad. How are you doing?
Good to see you.
Things good?
Yes, very good. So I think we're at Tim Hortons, are we not?
We are.
Are we going to get ourselves some coffee?
It looks familiar, Tim Hortons.
We're going to get ourselves some coffee.
We can get ourselves some coffee.
And I'm going to go for a pee. So let's go back to the very beginning. If we start from when I imagine when you got your diploma from university, right? When you graduated. Where did you start there? Were you a journalist right from the get-go?
In my late teens, I wanted to write about stories, fiction, people, antagonists and the hero, and tie it all up and make a nice little short novel out of it and everything like that. I found that was very difficult to get published. So I just figured I was always fascinated with the shorter version of short stories and articles because I was always reading. So I said, I'd actually like to be a journalist because there's a whole romantic thing too that you can make a difference, right? Everybody buys into that.
Right.
And you do end up, when you stay with it for some time, you actually make a difference. So I said, well, I'm just going to start writing, and I went to the Concordian student paper at Concordia University.
Because that's where you went to university, right?
Yeah, I went there. I had one first degree in psychology, and while I was studying environmental science, I decided I'm just going to write and volunteer at the paper, and everybody said, yeah, for sure, we need people. But I also edited some sections. I was a prolific writer. I wrote a lot, and then graduated from environmental science, and I took an internship at the Eastern Door in Ganawage. That was a hard-hitting paper. That was you covered everything, and you didn't hold back, and you actually went out, interviewed people, and wrote and was edited. There was no press releases or no news wires per se,
Right.
And so you interviewed people, you came back, you wrote it up, you had laid out the paper. And I learned everything over there. I also learned that, hey, I wasn't a bad writer.
Right. And I'm thinking, how did you go from being a journalist to becoming a fitness trainer? How does that happen?
Well, I had labeled myself as a health reporter all those times I was doing studies. But one year I heard, yeah, he's a health reporter, but we're going to call him the fat health reporter.
Oh.
Because I was gaining a lot of weight. I was basically up in Whitehorse on a canoe trip with my brother, and there was a doctor on the trip with us, 77 years old, retired, one of the funniest men I ever met. And this was a guy that took a picture and said, I'm going to send you this picture, Richard, and you're going to see how big you are. And he said you should eat better. Now, when you're in denial about these things, right?
He told you that?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I appreciate that. But you're in denial about things. Doc, I'm big boned. Doc, don't you know I work out? Doc, the food we have on this trip is terrible. What do you want me to do? He's looking at me like, yeah. Excuses. One day you're going to realize this. That was in 2013, but 2 years go by, and I'm driving home from meetings in Ottawa, and I'm really tired, and I'm really feeling sick. And so my friend Terry said, call up this personal trainer, he'll help you. And so I called him, and the guy said, okay, you're in that much agony and you really want to help, drive right to the gym right now. I said, well, that's pretty cool. I drove there, and I came in with a bottle of Diet Pepsi, my fourth of the day. Oh. Put it on his desk. And he asked me, so what are you doing? I said, well, I eat pretty good. I'm healthy, and I get better shape. I don't feel too good. And he told you, well, you're not healthy. You're fat. So that's the second person who called me fat. So he told me to come back a week later, and he started working me in the gym, and I started to lose weight rapidly. He taught me about food, taught me about this, and I was getting in shape really well. And I realized around the time when I lost about 50 pounds in about 7 months, I realized at a certain point, I've been writing about this. I know how to write. I relate to a lot of people. I'm in my 50s, and why can't I just be a personal trainer? So I talked to him about it. He supported me, and I went to become a personal trainer, and it just steamrolled from there to everything I'm doing now, including a book that I'm going to have coming out pretty soon on fitness.
So what's the name of your book?
Oh, Stop the Denial, a case for embracing the truth about fitness.
Okay. So you're kind of debunking a bunch of myths throughout this book? Is that...
I don't think I have the clout to debunk.
No? Okay.
But
you discuss it, perhaps, then?
I discuss it.
Right.
I really want to get into some things of why we would prefer to take a pill, have shakes, go on a 30-day diet, go on a cleanse, rather than just eat consistently, normally, be active. Yeah, go to the gym, your favorite, whatever you like to do, favorite thing, hit, yoga, whatever.
Right.
But why we don't do that? I got turned down to write articles about this, but eventually I kept writing it, and it spun itself into this book.
Right.
I said, okay.
So you got rejected quite a bit before it became something.
You think with all a journalist like me with experience and a veteran with all the web out there and internet and all the newspapers and
all your connections.
All my connections.
What about social media? Do you use that a lot? Do you use a lot of the different social media sites, or just some?
I use what works. Right now, my personal Facebook page is working more than my actual company page.
Okay.
And that's because a lot of people know me.
What do you mean by your personal? So you've got a Richard Tardif.
Yeah.
That's your family and friends, but it ends up being more than that. Is that what you mean?
It's all everybody I'm training, everybody in the fitness industry, family, friends, everybody's in there.
As opposed to the business one. What's the business one? Then?
Never Better Fitness.
You've got a Facebook website that's...
Yeah.
Oh, really? I'm not even aware of that.
I'm not using it that much. I'm not putting it out there right now.
Okay, so you don't mix the two.
I don't mix the two.
Okay, they're independent.
Well, there's a certain... Well, I also don't do fitness while I'm doing my other job, or vice versa.
Right.
A lot of people are doing playing more than one role.
Oh, absolutely.
That you have to... You either going to give to one or not to the other, or give to both.
Yeah.
You got to find a way somehow to do that.
Yeah.
And that will probably mean morning hours, weekends, and nighttime, as is my case. I mean, 5 in the morning sometimes. But if my clients are going to get up at 5 in the morning to come work out with me, I'm getting up at 4:30 and being there at 4:45.
Right.
That's the dedication I think people have to have in every sort of business.
Right.
All right.
What's the one food we should eat more of? You have to choose like one thing we should be eating more of.
Oh man, that's a
tough one.
That's like saying, well, for me, my first thought was, okay, so now you're talking about these so-called superfoods
that don't exist.
That don't exist.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe they exist either. So that's a tough question for me to answer, because all I'm going to say is anything natural, truly natural.
Yeah, what's natural? Here, this is a great time to define what is natural.
Oh, so
really?
many definitions of that. I think it's common sense. I mean, an orange grows on an orange tree, apple on an apple tree. Fish swims in the water, and if it's not farmed, of course. But that's when all the problems start. I mean,
asked you, what food should people definitely cut out? What's something? It's like a definite. No, you should not be eating this anymore.
It's almost the same answer. Everybody's individual and different variables. For me, I would say pizza. Not cut out.
But you don't cut it out.
Why would anybody want to cut out a food they like? Just don't
overindulge.
Listen, my first thought every Friday after work
is about pizza.
Really?
Really?
Did it for 20 years. It's about pizza.
Wow. Oh,
and the
you've
French
got a
fries.
relationship with
And the
that.
family. Thank you. Yes. And the family. Going to my brother's family. Pizza sometimes.
But it's a whole experience, I see.
It's a whole experience, but it's an experience that I'm enjoying with everybody. So I never ate alone.
Right?
It was killing me.
Yeah.
I mean, the meat's crappy. Whatever meat you put on it, pepperoni. This is nitrates and spices.
It's killing you, but life's killing us as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, it's terrible. So,
I mean, we're all dying.
you know, to answer that question, oh, now you're getting philosophical. To answer
Two
that,
spots. Your favorite junkie meal in Montreal, because let's get real, you still, I'm sure, like to enjoy that on
well,
occasion.
my Caribbean friends would not say the curry house with goat roti with spices is a junk meal, but that's over 1,000 calories.
Where's that? It's
Curry
called the
house,
Curry
yeah, just up here in Jean Talon. That's
So the curry house is a good...
good Caribbean place.
Oh, yeah, really?
Roti.
Oh, I'm thinking, I thought it was Indian.
A little bit of mix. Caribbeans got a
Because
lot of,
curry is often
yeah.
Indian food,
Oh, but
which I love,
but
too.
it's good food. But
Indian
you see,
food is
it's way up
delicious.
there in Jean Talon. I live in the west, so I don't always get to go.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing. Imagine if you lived right beside it. So what about advice that you would give to somebody? Is there anything, any little bit of advice that you got from somebody that you say, that stuck with me, it still sticks with me today?
Yeah, if you can't get over the fear, then you got to do what you got to do afraid.
I like that if you're afraid, well, just do it afraid then.
Yeah, I've done a lot of things afraid.
Yeah.
But my fear was unwarranted because it was overthought.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Fear was it always made me be a little more cautious on things.
Right. But if you could tell your 20-year-old self something, okay, that you know now, is there anything you wish that you knew when you were 20?
Probably a lot, but I would probably tell myself, don't be so damn serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be so damn serious. I could have avoided a lot of things. I'm assuming I could have avoided a lot of things. I wasn't so serious. And don't overthink things.
Yeah. So Richard, thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
This was so fun.
Was it fun or what?
It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself. I hope you did too.
I did.